I'm with Hunter Greenwood, pitcher over at Sac State, and Justin Higley, outfielder with the Oakland A's. He just signed last year. He played rookie ball with the Arizona A's, and we're here to just talk some baseball, talk strength training, and go from there. Go ahead and what's that? And eat some food. Yes. Justin, we'll start with you. Go ahead and just introduce yourself and when you start playing. And
I'm Justin Higley. I've been playing all my life. I went to Jesuit High School. Got scouted by the new head coach over at Sac State a couple years ago. Went there, played for 3 years, and then got drafted last summer. Went and played for the summer in Arizona in rookie ball. And that's working out, man.
What did Reggie, like when he saw you play in high school, what stood out to him as like, okay, I got to have this guy on my team? Like what stood out?
I think it was just because I was kind of fast and I had some power, you know, and I think that's what stood out because, I mean, nobody else really scouted me. Or St. Mary's was the only other school that talked to me a little bit, and he was the only one who gave me a chance.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
You want more coffee?
When I first saw you, and then when you said you were signed with the A's,
You want more coffee?
you reminded me of Eric Burns.
I'm not walking in
He's
front of
tall,
the camera.
fast, and
Yeah.
No.
that's why I was like, dude, that's why I could totally see you like playing for Oakland because you're their kind of style of their player.
Yeah, that's definitely the power with some speed too. That's definitely what got me to where I am.
That long hair and facial.
Long hair. All right.
So how long have you been, so did you start working with Brian through Sac State, or did you?
Yeah, well, he did our conditioning last year during the season, and I liked it a lot, so I was like, I wanted to work out with him.
Yeah. How do you think that's helped your game? I mean, naturally, you're obviously really athletic, naturally you move really well, good feet, quickness and speed.
Someone's been scouting you.
Well, I mean, I've seen him work out all the time. How do you think the strength has helped your game or helped you, prepare for the big leagues and be where you want to be?
Oh, it's definitely helped out a lot because he's doing stuff to me that I've never done before, different things, like different parts of the body, I guess you could say. And I think the combo of like the heavy weights 3 days a week and then the 2 days, like the conditioning, speed and agility, stuff like that really helps out a lot. Yeah.
So you said you're playing rookie ball. What, for folks that don't really understand the stepping stones or the ladder progression in baseball, how exactly does that work in terms of minor league, rookie ball, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so usually they send the younger guys to rookie ball, and usually when you get drafted, there's 2 spots they send you either rookie ball or short season, and then usually they send like some of the older guys to short season. It just depends on what they want to do, and then you go to your first spring training the next year, and there's low A, which I hope to go to this year, and then high A, double A, triple A, and then you're finally in the bigs after that. Yeah.
So is spring training, is that with the whole organization, like the whole A's organization, or is that specific to the team that you're playing?
Yeah, it's actually everybody's at the same complex. The big leaguers are in the same locker room that we're in. And
pretty exciting here.
Yeah.
You excited for that?
It'll be crazy because there'll be like tons of guys there just
Working
hard, and it's definitely, all the older guys said it's a different experience. Yeah.
So how many days a week are you hitting?
Usually I hit 5 or 6 times a week. You can take 1 day off here or there. Just lately with like all the holidays hasn't been as much, but usually I try to get out there. I just started throwing and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
How many balls do you try to hit when you're out there?
I don't try and hit too much. I'll hit off the tee a little bit, and then one of my high school coaches actually coaches at Sac State now, so he'll throw to me.
Who's that?
Kelly, Coach Kelly. I don't know if you met him.
Kelly
Kelly
McGee.
McGee.
He works over at Results.
Oh, I think I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's one of the trainers over at Results.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was my high school coach, so I've known him for a while. I just call him and
What kind of duration are you looking at? Like an hour and a half of hitting practice, or
No, I would say like 45 minutes.
45
max.
minutes?
Yeah, you don't really need to stay out there forever and hit. So if you're going out every day.
yeah?
It's like lifting weights.
More like maintenance.
Yeah, it's like well, and usually I try to hit after I lift, so my body's a little tired. So, because I mean, when you're playing every day, your body's gonna get tired, and during the season.
It's a little game day kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we were talking earlier. We were kind of talking about that transition from. So first off, so everybody knows you're young, going into college, which could be an advantage or disadvantage. But we were talking about the transition from high school ball to college ball to pro ball. So you just quickly talk about your experience in those different transitions, what it was kind of like, the expectations, the athleticism, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I played on a really good high school team, and even in high school, I wasn't really the guy, you could say. And so going into college, freshman year, I struggled a little bit, and I just got lucky that we weren't very good, so I got a lot of playing time. And then the next couple of years, I just developed and got better, and the competition wasn't as tough, I guess you'd say.
As you got better.
As I got better in college, yeah, the next couple of years.
So would you say that first year, would you see a big difference in competition between high school and college?
Yeah, it was just because you're playing against like a lot of 21 and 22 year olds, and I was 18. I would say I wasn't really ready for it, but we were very good, so I got to play a lot. And then the next couple of years we were really good, and I still played every day almost. So yeah.
So where are you from?
I'm from Sacramento.
Okay, so you're a local then. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a local guy.
Okay.
Thank you.
You went to Jesuit.
Oh, that's right. You did say Jesuit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
But
I forgot about that.
But playing your first 2 years or your first year, did that show you how much you like? Hey, I can play with these guys. Now I just got to put in the work.
Yeah, that's
to develop my skills.
That's,
Like, hey, I can hit this guy. Usually, like if you play like a good team, you're coming up with a good team, and they have their number one pitcher, and you're like, hey, I got some good swings. I hit the ball pretty good off them, and that kind of shows you what you have to work on to develop your skills. But just being on the field, actually, even like going to the locker room with the big leaguers, you're like, you're like next to big leaguers.
Well, yeah, I grew up around big leaguers, so it's always like, that's Jack Clark, that's Darrell Evans, that's so and so, and he's like giving me like batting tips or whatever. So it was awesome.
That's cool. Wait, how did you?
Yeah, because my dad's friend was a big leaguer for like 20 years.
Who's that?
Darrell Evans.
Dude, we should have him here too.
Yeah, we don't even know where Darrell is, but like so
he had that compact swing. He hit bombs.
He did like 404 home runs. I think that's what he hit. Yeah. So, like, because my dad's, he was the friend of Darrell, like the brother. Yeah. So basically, he used to hang out all the time, and then when Darrell was played for the Giants, obviously he knew Jack Clark then or whatever. He actually also knew who's the coach out there in San Francisco back in the 80s. Frank
Roger Craig?
No, not Roger Craig. Frank
Robinson?
He's actually from around here. Who am I thinking of?
And we digress.
He was coach of San Francisco till like the 90s at least.
Roger Craig was a...
No, Roger Craig, I'm thinking African American guy.
Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker, yeah. That's a Dusty, yeah. Because Dusty was from my school.
That was like 90s.
Yeah, your timeline is way off. I don't even watch baseball. I know that.
Hey, I was a kid, man. Like that's searching back into my memory.
All right, Hunter, how'd you start? Where'd you play at?
Started playing probably when I was 5 in Elk Grove. Elk Grove's a pretty big baseball town.
Yeah, huge baseball town.
It's pretty competitive. I don't know. I didn't really ever think I was that great at baseball until later on. Even in high school, didn't play a lot. Went to Franklin, Elk Grove. And I was playing there and kind of just real average and everything, and then started working out with a trainer, and it kind of took me to another level.
Nice.
And going into my senior year, started playing for the Rocky Scout team, and that's where I started getting.
Gary?
Yeah, Gary Wilson, who's a pitching coach,
Gary Wilson.
and scout for the Rockies. Yeah. And so I got some help from him and one of his associate scouts, Matt Padilla. And from there I started putting on the velocity. And I still more of a hitter than a pitcher, but they like seeing the gun. So I got offered by Sac State, and that's kind of where it went from there. It was my first offer, and I was kind of starstruck, so I committed pretty early to that. And then from that point, finished up my career at Franklin, and then going out of high school, I got drafted by the Rockies in the 48th round by Gary. And then went to Sac State, and since then I've been playing there, and I'm going into my 4th year, and I'm going to be a senior, and hopefully help the team out.
Are you still a pitcher then?
Huh?
You're still a pitcher?
Yeah. Now they won't let me swing the bat anymore, unfortunately.
You guys ever get in there?
Huh?
You guys-
Oh, I get in there. I had to show him how the car looks like every once in a while.
Off the structure.
So what do you throw? We got to know, what do you throw?
Fastball, changeup, and slider.
So, okay.
So yeah, that's my 3-pitch repertoire. I like to think I throw 3, but I say I consistently throw maybe 1. maybe 2.
So what does the season look like for you in terms of inning, starter, relief?
You know, I don't really know. My sophomore year, I started as our Friday guy, and since then I've been back and forth with roles. I start midweek games, close. I kind of am a utility. I go wherever they need me.
Righty or lefty?
Righty. So yeah, righty, and I pick up whatever innings they need. So right now I throw. Last year's role, I would start weekdays for us, and then I would throw in relief on the weekends when they needed me.
How many games did the college? You guys play like 30 or 40 games?
No, we're
50?
Yeah, we're 50.
You're 50?
Yeah,
Okay.
If you make postseason, you're getting close to 60s.
Okay. So regular season's what?
Regular season, well, we have our preseason, which is usually 20 games or so.
Yeah,
20 games, and then we have our league, which is around 30.
Okay.
And then with the postseason, you generally have 4 to 6 more,
Yeah.
depending on how far you play. You keep going. And last year, I think we went 34 and 25, so it's pretty good. 9 games above 500 is always pretty good for your program.
Anything over 30 wins is really good.
Yeah.
So he came in before you.
Huh?
Higgins?
No, we were saying
Same. Okay.
We're same, yeah,
Okay.
same class.
Oh, so you signed as a junior.
Yeah, we actually met in high school before before playoffs when we played against each other. We had some mutual friends, so that's when we started becoming friends. And since then, we've just been playing ball together. So get to watch him play ball. More like I'll be playing the whole game.
So what would you say was what was the question you asked him about? What do you think got you scouted?
Gary, what Gary noticed? I guess he said
What do you
radar
see?
gun
What do you
speed.
see in you?
I was above 6 feet tall, kind of athletic at the time, not quite as big, and threw the ball pretty hard. So I think that's about it. You know, I didn't pitch until my senior year of high school. I was a hitter, so most of my awards and stuff that I got in high school for hitting. But you know, they saw me more as a pitcher, and so I've been pitching ever since.
How hard do you throw?
I top out at 93. I usually sit 88, 90
Yeah.
in that range, but every once in a while I'm feeling really good. It'll be 90, 92. Let that 93 out comes out, but that's about it.
So have you always been looking at you in the weight room? It seems like you're one of the harder workers. Has that kind of always been your approach? Just kind of nose to the grind, work hard.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do it, go 110% because there's no reason to do it half-assed. So you know, that's how.
And you got
last year, Brian actually was saying that he had to watch you because you would work so hard that you would like potentially injure yourself, or like you just sometimes he would have to like physically stop you, like, no, you're done, like leave. So it's just so you know that, 'cause it's always nice to hear good things about yourself. But
well, see, you also started a strength training program in high school. You said with the trainer, so
Yeah,
Who did you work with?
it was Matt Padilla,
Okay.
and he was associate scout, so I kind of got referred to him by Gary,
Okay.
and I started working out with him. I didn't really train weightlifting or anything until I got here, and I started lifting, but I've noticed that what's offered at Midtown, especially with Brian helps, and
Yeah.
even when I've worked out with you at times, it's pretty productive. It's a lot more focused around being a better athlete, not so much being a meathead, you
Yeah.
know? And don't get me wrong, that still means you can get your work in, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
it's just fun,
So,
just real movements.
it's
like,
a good atmosphere too. It's
what
really fun.
were you doing in high school? Were you doing
High
squat,
school,
bench,
no,
dead?
limited. I was a lot of body weight stuff, a lot of circuit stuff, like what we finished today in the gym,
Okay.
which is med balls, weighted balls.
So it wasn't really like your strength
agility.
list.
No, and that's where I've noticed. Yeah, it's a lot of speed agility,
Yeah.
and I've noticed a big improvement is from having at the same time coupling that strength training that you get, because that powerlifting, it gives you another aspect to your game.
Yeah.
Like I said, in high school I wasn't a twig, but I was a good size for a high school guy, 6'2", 190, you know, but still compared to now when you're looking 220, you know, you put on a little bit of weight.
muscle, yeah.
Yeah.
And
As you said, it's a big differentiator between strength and conditioning in high school and college is actually getting the weights.
Yeah, I think you're still going to get that, you know, cardio, and everybody focuses on that, but it's not until right around that college stage that you start getting significantly bigger from that weight.
Yeah.
And that'll do it to you.
That's what I tell the young guys. I go, man, you're not going to put on size until maybe like 21, 22, 23, and start developing like muscle. It takes time.
And I mean,
But you can develop strength right away.
and the best thing you can do is just be athletic and do that conditioning and stay in shape and just be an athlete, because they're not recruiting you because you're big and strong in high school. If they were doing that, I mean, you better be maxed out at 90 plus miles an hour in high school, because they want to look for that tall, lanky guy that can throw the ball
That
decent.
develops over a period of time.
Right, they want somebody they can form. Otherwise, you're either, like I said, you're just a beast already, and you're probably going to go in the draft or somewhere higher. So, you know, it's just being in that in between. You can either way, it doesn't matter. You know, there's two routes you can take to that. But I think in high school, the most important thing is just to work on your flexibility, your strength training, getting explosive. You know, and you'll get plenty of strength training once you get to college. So, yeah, I think that, but it's definitely a beneficial thing. It helps you get longer into games and, you know, have a little bit more power going into it. So that's what I know.
Strength and conditioning, man,
It's important.
gets you better.
Yeah.
So you guys want to eat, and then we'll come back and recap a little bit.
Did you not get any food?
I'm good, dude. I already ate before I got here. Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back here in a little
You
bit.
guys can eat.
Part
And
two
then
coming
we'll
up.
get the good stuff actually while we're eating. Go ahead and we'll take a break.